I'm Joce.
Hey, I'm Claudia.
And this is the Lutz Get Down to Business podcast.
We're two cousins on opposite ends of the globe with a lot of opinions about figure skating. And we're here to deliver the news, recaps, and boogie along to the arena music like Star Andrews. Hey Joss, long time no speak, even though I spoke to you like 2 minutes ago.
Even though we literally don't stop talking all day unless one of us is asleep.
I know, right? Ugh. Hey, Halloween's coming up. You doing anything special with pie?
We have like a small social bubble with a couple of other toddlers who are our friends that are Pie's age. And we are going to get together for like a little morning play date, and we're going to dress up our kids in various costumes.
Cute.
My child, of course, is going to be a horse because she has no truer love in the world than horses. Although maybe Vincent Joe from our last episode.
How is she going to dress up as a horse? What are you going to make her costume? Are you going to buy it?
Claudia, please. It's 1:30 in the morning and we're recording a podcast. I have no other time to make costumes for my child. No, I just purchased a zip up, warm, cute horse onesie thing.
Just leave off the onesie. You bought a really super cute zip up horse. That's it.
A really cute zip up horse. Yes.
What are you going as?
Myself. Only the children matter.
Yeah, that's scary enough. I feel like if I had to do anything, this is almost a cop-out, but I love him anyway, Jack Skellington.
I love him.
It's great. I know, but it's kind of a cop-out because like half my wardrobe is black and...
Pinstripes are cute. Pinstripes are
They
a
are
different
cute.
brand of black, okay?
The different brand of black. But also, I just love Jack Skellington. He is a big vibe.
I love him.
Big mood, big vibe. All right, so this episode, we are going to continue our Skate America discussion, and we're going to talk about pairs and ladies. But before that, we're going to talk about the little bit of news that we have since we last recorded. So we're going to start off with the one ticket item on our news list, which is Skate Canada. Again, they have been putting out a bunch of statements. This statement in particular was about their commitment to equity, diversity, and inclusion, and it came out today, the day that we're recording. And it follows on from their statement on anti-racism that they put out earlier this year in around June. And they are taking further actions, and they've listed out 5 steps or 5 parts on how they're going to do that. The first one is Equity, Diversity and Inclusion Working Group, so EDI Working Group for short. And this group has been meeting weekly since July, and it's a bunch of members of the skating community and experts in Skate Canada. And some of the skaters that are in this working group that we know are Elijah Balde, Patrick Chan, Paul Poirier, Eric Radford, and Caitlin Weaver.
And the remaining points that they talk about are, one of them is community outreach. So they will have a Talking About Race and Skating panel later this fall with various Black, Indigenous, people of color voices in skating, and why talking about race will make the community stronger. There is also an active review of terminology in skating that is going on, with focusing on decolonizing the terminology, which is amazing. Continue to decolonize your bookshelves if you are in the process of doing so.
Yes. Yeah.
And the very last point is marketing and communications. So they are launching a campaign called Talking About Race, where they highlight Black, Indigenous, people of color in the community, having conversations about race to generate further dialogue in the community. So hats off to that. I'm all for it. I look forward to seeing what they come up with.
Yeah, it's really exciting that they've actually, presented an action plan and pretty much provided proof of how they're actively working to follow through and implement the goals that they set out in their anti-racism statement. So good on you, Skate Canada. We'd love to see it.
Cheers to you, Skate Canada. All right, why don't we move into our discussion of pairs and ladies at Skate America? It was a very eventful couple of events.
Eventful couple of events.
I'm sorry, it's 1:30 in the morning. What do you expect from me?
Anthony Ponomarenko.
Anthony Ponomarenko. We love it. In case you did not listen to the Men and Dance episode, we just very much like how the name Anthony Ponomarenko flows when you say it. It's very nice to say. But
Yeah,
anyways.
how about we shout out Mr. and Mrs. Ponomarenko again in this episode?
Another
just
shout
free
out.
shout outs for everybody. Okay, pairs. Okay.
All right, cool. So the first pair that we want to talk about is Olivia Serafini and Mervyn Tran. And these two actually have quite the history individually and also starting together in the 2018-2019 season. So Mervyn was actually a world bronze medalist in 2012 when he was skating with Japan. Then he moved on to skate.
Takahashi.
I
Sorry,
know.
I had to put that in there. I love her.
Amazing. And then he went on to skate very briefly for Canada and then came to the US and then partnered with Marissa Castelli, and he won silver at the 2017 US Nationals. So after that, he again started skating with Olivia in the 2018-2019 season, and I can definitely start to see them kind of like settling into their partnership. And if you guys didn't know, Olivia Serafini is a single skater and is transitioning into pair skating with Mervyn now.
Yeah, look, I roped my mum into watching the pairs event live with me. And as soon as Mervyn came on the screen, I think she fell in love immediately. And I'm just like, good choice, because we love Mervyn. We love him. And also, because I've been doing this for pretty much every discipline and every skater, his USFS bio. I have to. Tran also enjoys cooking almost as much as he enjoys eating.
Oh.
Very great. Yes, I approve. He dabbles in music, gardening, and esports. He is an avid Googler with a curiosity in all subjects. He has a terrible sense of humor, much to his own detriment. I wonder who wrote this bio.
I love this because it's such a contrast to Alexei Bachenko, Uncle Bachenko from last episode with partying, music, sports, and traveling.
We have the lovely trio of music, gardening, and esports. I feel like that's a good trio.
The three genders. Amazing.
Oh, okay. So their short program was to If I Ain't Got You by Alicia Keys, and love
This
the
is
music
like
choice.
Prime high school prom slow dance, and I mean that in the best way possible. I love Alicia Keys crooning at a high school dance and the DJ being like, Alicia Keys.
This is also very much the vibe of drunk night out karaoke. I'd 100% put this on and just scream it. I was about to say belt, but then it'd probably sound more like a screaming cat. But look, I think they had a pretty solid program, bar a few little mistakes here and there. I love Olivia and I love Mervyn, but I think at least in this point in the season, they looked quite rough. And it didn't look like they were matched the best that they could be at this point in time. Obviously, we're in COVID times. This is just across the board that there's lack of conditioning due to lack of ice time, due to lockdowns and all that stuff. But yeah.
One comment that I have is that her short program costume was very much like, I was talking to my friend about this. I take no credit for this, but wanted to put it on the podcast. But she was like, do you watch Say Yes to the Dress? And I was like, yeah, duh, of course. And she was like, don't you think that Olivia's costume reminds you of a Panina Tournay dress? And I was like, girl, yes, because like that kind of like boning and mesh and kind of see-through part over the torso, 100% Panina. And I think that there's another costume that we're going to talk about later on that is extremely Panina, but I just wanted to say that because it totally reminded me of that, and my friend just kind of put words to it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I love seeing Mervyn skate in general. And Olivia looks like she's having a great time out there. Their free skate was to Chasing Cars by Snow Patrol. And so we got, blasted back into the early, when was that? Like 2010?
This is also very much high school prom slow dance. Chasing cars. Everyone find a partner.
Yeah, this is 2006. What do I mean 2010? I was just like, is it mid 2000s? But yeah, very mid 2000s-esque, and I love it. But it wasn't a great skate for them. Like their short program, it wasn't Olivia's day. Their free program, it was not Mervyn's day. I still love you guys.
Have a good day together, please.
Yes, we would like you to both have good days simultaneously. But yeah, a bit disappointing overall, but they've got quality anyway, so we are sure to see them skate better in the future, hopefully sooner rather than later.
Definitely.
Okay, so the pewter medalists were Ashley Cain-Gribble and Tim LeDuc. Okay, I have a lot of thoughts about this, and you have a lot of thoughts about this. The notes that I have, they're a full page just on Ashley and Tim. So their short program, let's start with that.
Okay.
To Never Tear Us Apart by Bishop Briggs. And the first thing, apart from Ashley's dark hair, was their costume. And then Ashley's eye makeup. But their costume was really just bam, wow. And I was like, holy shit, this is hella hot.
Yeah, and also this is the second Panina Tournay-esque figure skating costume that we have here. So Panina, we strongly believe that you should begin to fashion or design. That's the word, design. Figure skating costumes.
Fashion.
You should fashion.
To fashion
Panina
figure
Tournay,
skating
you should
costumes.
fashion.
Lisa McKinnon, watch out.
Oi. But
Sorry,
yes.
we love you, Lisa. We love you, Lisa. You've done really great dresses this season as well. Yeah, so it was generally a strong short program. She double-footed the landing of the throw triple Lutz, but otherwise excellent elements. They looked strong. And their side-by-side combo spin, that looked so difficult. And they did it really, really well. It was nicely synchronized. They had a super step sequence that I hella enjoyed. But their side-by-side jumps, their triple sows, got a downgrade. So that's probably why they ended up in 4th in the short program, despite a pretty good skate.
Yeah, and also there was a lot of talk about this downgrade, their side-by-side triple sows. On Twitter, someone had actually screenshotted or paused their TV or whatever they were watching on at this point where Ashley was landing the jump. And even though they got a full downgrade, there are a lot of people that were in agreement that it looked maybe a quarter to a half under. People were like, maybe I would have scored it a quarter, not a full downgrade. But I also really enjoyed just the general quality of their skating. Their side-by-side split leap along with their spins were also amazing.
Yeah, and so after their strong-ish short program, we get to the free program, which was to Piano Concerto No. 2 by Rachmaninoff, standard, love. And this was a bit rougher.
First of all, I think that they, unfortunately, whoever choreographed this program and cut the music, cut out the best part of the music, and I'm extremely upset about that. But on top of that, please continue.
Okay, so the triple Lutz that Ashley double-footed in the short program, she successfully landed here, and it looked gorgeous because she held that landing for so long, looked great, extension was there. But okay, so you and I both love this piece of music, but for me, I felt like it kind of fell flat towards the end, but maybe that was just because you could see how tired they were. So further into the season, this program will be much better, I feel, if that's the reason why I kind of thought it was a bit dull towards the end.
Yeah, I kind of wonder about semi the politicking side of this, because we know, we talked about in the last episode how all the judges were American, and this is basically not Nationals light, but Nationals plus because of the few non-American teams that were competing. So, I kind of just wonder, with obviously Alexa and Brandon, who are newly paired this team, and obviously last season Jessica and Brian had a really good turnout at Nationals. And here, them scoring a little bit under Lou and Mitrofanov, I was just kind of wondering, were, especially with that downgrade on the side-by-side triple sows, I just kind of wondered, what are the judges and U.S. figure skating trying to do with them, because I know that there was a big push for them a little while ago, but then things kind of quieted down, and I know that U.S. figure skating was really pushing Alexa and Chris, because they love a love story. But I kind of wonder, what is happening, especially with that downgrade, which a lot of people agree, especially on social media, was graded a little bit harshly.
Yeah, so looking at their protocols for their free skate, they had the highest base technical score of the night by 1.8 points. So decent edge. And even though there was a fall on the triple loop, the rest of their elements didn't register any GOEs higher than 3. They also, their side-by-side, the second side-by-side jump sequence, which was the triple sow, double toe, double loop, all of them got Qs. And so they just really got hammered in that part. And I kind of can understand how, like, towards the end of the program, the GOEs would be lower, but nothing registered above a 3. Like, nothing. And in terms of PCS, they got 4 points lower than Caroline and Johnson, and only 2 points above Audrey and Misha. Like, that's an area they really need to capitalize on to close that, you know, that total score gap. Because they were, like, their total score was really, really close to Lou and Mitrofanov. But, I mean, they should be getting higher scores.
Right, I agree. And I think that had that side-by-side triple sound not been downgraded, I think they would have had a better chance at the podium this time.
Yeah, I think, you know, bar that, like, bar the short program, I think they were just a bit harsh on the free skate PCS. Because, I mean, the difference between third and fourth overall was 0.42 points. That could definitely be made up in a PCS score that I felt like they should, at least for one component of the PCS, like, they should have hit. Yeah, I can see why a lot of people are confused and a bit mad, I guess, because only 2 points higher in PCS compared to Lou and Mitrofanov, who are a much younger team with much less experience.
It's not necessarily the decision that I personally would have made. Again, I'm not a judge, but I think we have to look at this in terms of kind of like what we are doing in terms of American pairs heading into like Olympic season next season and who we are really trying to push, right? And I think that, you know, we have to...
Looks like they're pushing Brian and Jessica and Alexa and Brandon.
Yeah.
And they're pretty much... This may... If the politicking theory is correct, this might just be a shout to Ashley and Tim to go like, hey guys, we're not really on your side.
Which is very unfortunate.
Because I really, really like them.
I do too. I mean... Okay, like there are very few people that can pull off that illusion tube top with the pleather pants. I mean, not that that makes up for anything in a downgrade in side-by-side jumps or a downgrade in PCS. But I mean, like, I just really enjoy them kind of as a pair. And I think that it's unfortunate what could potentially be going on here. But hopefully, you know, next time their jumps will be landed so solidly and everything will be great because I really am rooting for them, forever rooting for them.
Yeah, and they've worked so hard, especially Tim. So, yeah, bit disappointing. Okay, let's talk about another pair who had a really disappointing outing, Tara Cain and Danny O'Shea. But before we start talking about their disappointing skates, I'm going to do another bio shout out, USFS bio. So Danny has in his bio, growing up, in addition to figure skating, played football, soccer and basketball, ran track, and learned karate. Which, like reading that, I was like, oh, so the black outfits
These are the
make
sports
sense now.
that were included in Alexei Pachenko's bio. This is sports, football, soccer, basketball, ran track, and learned karate.
100% Alexei Pachenko has done some MMA and karate. 100%. Danny also enjoys building things with Legos and minor home improvement projects. He plays ultimate frisbee and golfs, and he enjoys physics and math.
I think that this is just so specific. Builds things with Legos and minor home improvement projects.
Danny, why not major?
Yeah, let's tackle some big ones.
All right, so we all know that Tara and Danny recently left Delilah, and we were potentially waiting on an update of their coaching situation because they hadn't announced who their new coach would be, and lo and behold, at Skate America, there was no coach or coaches listed. But they enlisted the help of their former coaches, Jim Peterson and Amanda Evora, in helping them prepare for this event, so that was very nice of them. But yeah, I mean, so their short program is to Claire de Lune, their free skate is to Carmen. That's something that they've already announced. But yeah, okay, let's talk about the short program. Claire de Lune, we've heard this before. We've also heard Carmen before, so they're just warhorsing it all this season. But The first thing to note is that their death spirals are just amazing. They are so fast, so lovely. No wonder they get such good GOE on them. The program itself looks lovely, but at the moment, obviously, it's quite rough. Their side-by-side Salcos got a downgrade like Ashley and Tim. They got 2 deductions, 1 fall and 1 time violation. And that fall was that was scary. So Tara fell on her triple sow and Danny pretty much ran into her, and it was kind of scary because his skate was pretty much at her head level, but luckily no one was injured. Everyone escaped unharmed. But yeah, what do you think about the short program?
Yeah, I was honestly a little bit freaked out. He really looked like he was trying not to step on her or slice her head open with his blade. I was really terrified. It was not cute. But yeah, there was a lot of mistakes going on here. Obviously, the jumps got a downgrade. There was a time violation. I just think that this does not look very cohesive right now. And I think that Danny skated stronger than Tara here, but it just didn't seem cohesive to me, which is a shame because the costumes were lovely here. I think Claire de Lune, again, is a classic. A lot of people like to shit on Claire de Lune, but I personally really like it. But yeah, it just doesn't look very complete right now, and hopefully that'll improve.
Yeah. So their free skate is to Carmen, and okay, maybe an unpopular opinion, I really liked it. Despite it being Carmen, despite it being a warhorse, I really, really liked it. And I really like her dress. I know you have a different opinion.
I think there's just a lot going on with the dress. I think there's just too much going on with the dress. I think that...
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the same issue as, if you're going to wear, a color block sweater with, neon color blocks, I don't think the pant should be also a neon color block, you know what I mean? And I don't think the shoe should also be a neon color block. I think that there's just a lot going on in the costume. But it is very nice, and I think that she is able, you know how people say you wear the clothes don't wear you. I think she definitely wore the costume. There wasn't too much going on, but I don't think I like
definitely wore the costume.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't think I like this quite as much as you did. I just think that there are better Carmens out there, but I do like it. I think that it gels with them. I think Tara seemed very into it.
If you say that it isn't better than Tessa and Scott's Carmen and that's your benchmark.
Stop.
No. Stop. Tara was definitely into it. She went full out. Danny was in his, full black attire, looking very, very black. Is this a different shade of black than his normal black, Joce?
It might be. We'll never know.
We will never know. But I think they delivered it well. I think Tara's Carmen is golden. I said fuck yeah to their death spiral because it's just so good. Their triple twist was right on the music. The lifts were really strong and great. Although they could work on the flow out of them. But start of the season, something that we can improve on. So yeah, I am actually loving their Carmen despite their jump mistakes. I actually really, really love this. And that ending pose is sick as hell.
Yeah. I definitely like it a lot better than the Claire de Lune. I think the Claire de Lune I don't think they were very happy with it either, but they looked a little happier with the Carmen, so we like it.
Okay, let's talk about maybe the surprise of the pairs event. It was Audrey Liu and Misha Mitrofanov. She is 18, he is 23, and they got the bronze medal. How do we feel about them, Joce?
I am not incredibly familiar with this pair, although I have seen them before. So for their short program, they skated to The Show Must Go On from Moulin Rouge. I have feelings about Moulin Rouge programs, as we know. But I honestly was very, very impressed by this. I think their side-by-side triple sals, one of the best of the night. I think a lot of other people, obviously, like we've talked about, really struggled with their side-by-side triple sals. I think they had a huge throw triple loop. And however, I think my one complaint about this is that his costume did not seem very Moulin Rouge-y. It looked kind of like the flag of Sweden, but in different colors. I was kind of like, this needs a change. This needs some assistance here. But overall, really enjoyed the program. I think that they are definitely, they skate very young. I think they need a little bit of time to mature.
They still skate very junior, and I think that was that was quite stark when, you compare them against Jessica and Brian, Alexa and Brandon, Ashley and Tim. But, them being young, probably...
They are young. They have a lot of time to grow as a pair. And I think that they have a really solid base to start out with. I think their jumps looked great. I think especially that huge throw triple loop. I loved it. I really like the short program. Even though going into it, I saw Moulin Rouge and I was like, oh, but I was very pleasantly surprised. I always grit my teeth a little bit at every Moulin Rouge program just to bear myself for what could potentially come. But no, really enjoyed it. Loved it.
They're a very well matched team. They've got the technical base. The performance just needs to, get a level up there. And I think they tried that in their free skate to Charlie Chaplin.
Oh man, I think that I struggle with Charlie Chaplin programs in general because I think you have to have a certain something about you to even attempt a Charlie Chaplin program, right? They're a little bit kitschy. Charlie Chaplin, I mean, not these folks. But I think that was the issue, right? Is I think that Audrey and Misha needed to step up the kitsch and the camp a little bit.
Oh, definitely.
I think that her dress especially did not scream, hey, I'm doing a Charlie Chaplin program. It was just kind of like pale blue. It was very nice. It was a nice dress. I just don't really think that it fit the Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't really feel this Charlie Chaplin. My comments about their free program pretty much are the same as their short program about them needing to work on their maturity, their skating skills, especially their edges and speed. But they had a great side-by-side triple sow, Euler double sow. Probably the only pair apart from Alexa and Brandon who successfully nailed their side-by-side jumps. It was a pretty poor showing from everyone with side-by-side jumps this event. But yeah, look, I think if they stay together as they have for the past 4 years, they can learn to be very, very, very good for the next Olympic cycle. We've obviously seen pairs who have stayed together for a long time really develop a really unique and strong bond that really just helps them in every single way. So yeah, really looking forward to seeing how they progress in the future.
Yeah, I really like them. I thought they were great bronze medalists here. But why don't we move on to the silver medalists, Jessica Callalang and Brian Johnson. Why don't I do a U.S. figure skating bio?
Okay.
Oh my gosh, this is my brand. Jessica, do you want to be my friend? Okay, so Jessica.
Friends?
Yeah. Jessica enjoys watching Friends and Say Yes to the Dress. Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that this was coming. But just as I was talking about watching Say Yes to the Dress previously with my Panita costumes, she enjoys watching Friends and Say Yes to the Dress. And she's an avid Candy Crush player. We love an avid Candy Crush player. I also have here that Brian, when he was at the boards drinking his water, there appeared to be a ginormous sticker of a taco on his water bottle. And
we appreciate food.
We appreciate food. Seeing as it just turned Tuesday, today it's Taco Tuesday, so happy Taco Tuesday to Brian Johnson.
I want a taco.
I want a lot of tacos. It's Taco Tuesday. Maybe I should order some DoorDash.
Yeah, I'm going to go on Uber Eats after this too.
All right, but okay, so why don't we talk about their short program?
Yes. So we have pretty much, if you listen to our ISP Points Challenge episode, we waxed lyrical about Jessica and Brian's programs for this season. Their short program, though, pretty much everyone decided to fall on their side-by-side jumps. And this time it was Jess who fell on the landing of her triple sow. It was really unfortunate because she just, slipped off her heel in, one of those freak accident ways. But yeah, look, I have to say, Brian's costume is really, really nice. I love the lace detail and the subtle crystalling. Like, they've got on-point costumes this season.
Yeah, when I was watching, Jessica was really, really fighting for that landing. I was like, oh no. And then I just saw her heel slip and I was like, oh girl, I feel so bad. But y'all, everyone needs to work on their side-by-side triple cells here. There's a lot of unders. There's a lot of falls, a lot of stuff going on here. However, really enjoyed the short program in general. I think this is very much their brand. I think they suit it very well. And these throws are just like, every time she lands one, I'm like, oh girl. It just kind of,
oh yeah.
Just the way that she lands the throw jumps. I'm like, oh my goodness, Jessica.
If she's on like a 45-degree lean, she's landing it.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane. Okay, let's talk about their free skate because I fucking love it.
Yeah, this free skate is amazing.
Yeah. Started out with a gorgeous triple twist, had a great throw triple sow. Again, they had troubles on their side-by-side jumps. Big shocker, so did everyone else pretty much. I'm so hyped for this team. They have such strong pairs elements. They're just so good. The technique is so good.
I really love them. I think that they really had a moment at US Nationals. And like I was saying, the ISP Points Challenge episode, it's so unfortunate that especially them with this thing at Worlds, right? If you guys don't know what happened to them at Worlds, please Google. It's very disappointing for them. They were just on such an upward trajectory and it kind of just really got cut short. And I just really hope that they can continue this season. I think they're my favorite US pair. And I think...
Me too.
Yeah, they're amazing. And I think that coming up on US Nationals this year, right, in January, I think it really is, if they continue like this, it's really 50-50 who will win at US Nationals between them and Alexa and Brandon, who we'll talk about in a few seconds here. Obviously, they need to work on their side-by-side jumps, as everyone does on Team USA. Maybe they should just have like a workshop, a master class where they all just drill side-by-side jumps. They should
maybe
all
just get
jump
Nathan
side-by-side.
in. Get Nathan in for a master class. Even though he popped his jumps in his free skate.
They all need to jump side by side. Everyone needs to line up side by side jumps. Like they're going to do, like literally all like 12 of these folks need to line up side by side and do side by side jumps. But no, I really think that they are matched very closely with Alexa and Brandon. It will be very interesting to see what happens at Nationals this year.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? They remind me a lot of Kiana McLaughlin and Rockne Brubaker. That's a throwback for y'all. But I feel like it's Jess and Brian are like Kiana and Rockne, but realized like we're actually getting results. And I'm so happy about that. Speaking about them being neck and neck with Alexa and Brandon, I feel like I'm on the same page with you. I feel like it's objectively, it's very 50-50. It could go either way depending on, whose day it is. But I think that judges, especially here, are showing that they are really pushing for Alexa and Brandon.
Yeah, I think that they are definitely pushing for Alexa and Brandon. They are all aboard the Alexa train from the love story of Alexa and Chris. I think they're still very much aboard the Alexa train. However, I think that I could potentially also be aboard the Alexa train because I really enjoyed both of their programs. I think I enjoyed them more than I expected to enjoy them. In the short program, first of all, I love this music, okay? Like, this cover is so intense. And like I said in the ISP Points Challenge episode, her costume is just like, I think it's one of my favorite costumes that I've ever seen.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I thought their short program was a big improvement from what we saw at ISP Points Challenge. The throw triple loop was huge. But I do have to say that, like, Chris Knierim getting shown in the front row with his, like, thumbs out as a cardboard cutout. He's no longer spinning. He's now a cardboard cutout.
He's no longer haunting the ice, wondering what Alexa is doing. He is now safely in the audience, two-dimensional, however, with both thumbs up. So we see you, Chris. And
their free skate, also freaking amazing. The throw triple loop is just fantastic, as always. Finally, they had a synchronized side-by-side triple sow. I think one of the big comments and weaknesses they have at this point in time is that they're still a relatively new pair. And so you can tell that they don't have all their elements, jumps, spins all synchronized just yet. But look at that. We got synchronized side-by-side jumps. Good on them. They had an amazing throw triple Lutz. There were gorgeous lifts. Although they did lose a level on the last lift because she just missed grabbing her skate. But overall, great skate. Claps all round. And I think that when we're comparing them to Jessica and Brian, if we want to kind of, take the judges' side on giving them the edge in points, if we compare their PCS, their skating skills and stuff, I can see why they would have a slight edge. They do look like they cover more ice. They look faster. But yeah, the difference is somewhat minimal but I can see how they would be edging forward in that domain at this point in time.
Yeah, I think so. And I do believe that they kind of flip-flop PCS. In one of the programs, Jessica and Brian had the edge, and the other program, Alexa and Brandon had the edge. I still do think, and obviously this is due to the fact that they've only been partnered for like 3 or 4 months, but I still do think they kind of skate like they have the Holy Spirit between them. Like I was saying, the ISB Points Challenge episode, they are
God.
kind of like a middle school
They're
dance.
very
at a Catholic
far
high school.
apart.
Yeah, like they just don't seem like I was saying this in that episode too, but like how Tessa and Scott like press their foreheads together and make sure their breath is synchronized. I think that they need to do a little bit more of those exercises, right? And obviously over time they will continue to do that, but I just get that sense of like slight awkwardness between them, or I guess not awkwardness, but like more newness. I guess is the appropriate word here.
Like you can definitely see that, you know, in their side by side jumps. They've pretty much got half an ice rink in between them, and you know, obviously in pairs because it's dangerous. You don't want to be too close, but we don't want to be so far apart that it's like two single skaters that happen to be on the same ice, you know. But yeah, you know, that's just something that over time they'll work towards and get better. That's just new pairs getting more comfortable with each other things. So yeah, good on you, Alexa and Brandon, for winning your first Skate America together as a pair. Plaudits.
Yeah, congratulations. That is, yeah, I'm excited to see US pairs. I think is finally starting to step it up a little bit. There was a big kind of dead zone for a little while there, but
a little while, a long while,
maybe a long while,
like a long while,
a long while. But I see potential here.
Yeah, it's getting exciting, especially the competition between Alexa and Brandon and Jessica and Brian.
Love to see it.
There's drama, and I love it. Okay, there was also hella drama in ladies.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so why don't we start with just like general thoughts? I think that definitely Audrey and Karen were the highlights for me. I have some conflicting thoughts about Brady and Mariah, but I definitely do think that it was just so nice to see Karen especially kind of like finding her footing again, just after having kind of like floundered for a little while. I worried as to whether, you know, she would ever kind of like look proud of herself after a program again, but I really think that she was happy with how this weekend went, and I'm so happy to see Karen back especially. And Audrey was a huge surprise, but a welcome and happy surprise.
Absolutely. I thought half of the ladies event was really, really good to watch. Obviously, it was great for the lesser known skaters to get out there on Grand Prix ice and, you know, shoot their shot. So it was really great to see the new names get introduced to their skating, because we always like to see what's up and coming talent. Let's start, however, with a not new face. Let's start with Gracie Gold.
Oh, Gracie. So let's talk about the short program first. The short program was to a cover of Survivor by Destiny's Child. We stand Destiny's Child. We love you, Kelly, Michelle, and Beyonce.
Yeah, so I love the top of the costume. It looks great. But she didn't do very well technically. And I think this is just herself psyching her out, because we know she can do an awesome triple Lutz combo. We know she's got her triples. We've seen them. You know, she did them in ISP Points Challenge as well. But here she did a double Lutz. She did a double flip. No combo. So that element was completely null and void. Yeah, look, I think even though it wasn't technically a great short, she just needs competitive skates under her belt. She needs to get more competitive ice time, which sounds so weird, like saying Gracie Gold needs more, you know, experience in competition. But I think, you know, that's just the case, because we know she's got talent. We know she's got the jumps. It's just about putting it all together when it counts.
Yeah. And, you know, I wonder kind of what I wonder if this would have been better with a live audience, right? Because the music is like so intense and there are some very serious kind of like silences and blank spaces in the music. So I wonder if, she would benefit from having an audience. I mean, obviously we can't inject an audience here, right? But I think that this is a program, and I think that Gracie is a skater that really kind of like, I don't know, maybe
Vibes off audiences.
Yeah. I mean, I think everyone does, like, to some extent, but especially with this music, this costume, just kind of like the energy, I really think that an audience would be beneficial.
Yeah, and especially because Gracie was first out, Ladies was the first event. The sound mixer, audio person in the arena, they were still kind of experimenting with having the audience sounds, timed very well. Like in the ladies, first group of the ladies warm up in their short program, there was nothing playing, like it was dead silence. And I feel like Gracie was the guinea pig of the sound mixer gal. And yeah, it just wasn't super great for their short program. But yeah, so she had at least like a decent presentation score, 28.64. That's as good as she can get really for what she put out. But let's move on to the free skate, because I think this says a lot more about where she's at. So she pulled in for the triple Lutz at the start of the program. Good girl. I was very, very happy for her. But then it kind of went downhill and we saw a lot more doubling. We saw her psyching herself out really, and I wouldn't say she wasn't trying, but to me it looked like she was scared of falling, like making a mistake and having it end up as a fall, and she would rather pop her jumps. And skaters, we all know that, sometimes we have that in our mind that we'd rather pop a jump than, land on our ass. But, I feel like I would have much rather seen her, pull in and really try for the triples, even if they did end up in a fall. And she ended up doing that towards the end of the program, which was good. But yeah, what did you think?
I think that I really wonder where she is kind of like mentally and emotionally. She didn't look, I think that this is a different Gracie than we saw like at US Nationals last year. I remember her just feeling like appearing like jubilant and kind of like overjoyed after her programs. She was very kind of like overcome with her feelings after her programs at Nationals, but I just saw it just kind of like a lot of disappointment here. And like in the Kiss and Cry, she did not look pleased with herself. And in an interview,
she was straight on her phone.
Yeah, like she was like on her phone, her head was down, she was not speaking to the camera. Very different energy than Amber, who was speaking 200 miles per hour in the Kiss and Cry with a mask on. Love you, Amber. But yeah, it was just a very different energy. And in this interview, or I guess an interview quote that I saw in a tweet, she seemed like very down on herself. She was literally like 0 out of 10, would not recommend on TripAdvisor. Like it's hard to enjoy a program when you've just wiped the ice with your bottom or something like that. Like she just seemed,
Gracie.
she just seemed like she wasn't in the best mental state. And regardless of what she does, whether she, starts competing in smaller competitions or, whether she continues to compete at the level that she wants to here, I just want her to feel good about herself. I think that regardless of what actually happens in competition, we just want a happy Gracie. That's all we want.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. One thing that did piss me off major time, though, was the ISU commentator. He was just so goddamn awful and rude, especially when Gracie was skating. He kept bringing up things that were super unnecessary and, just kept talking about how, she was in last place and talking about her previous achievements and comparing him to them. Like, just shut up. Like, just stop. Like, do you know who you're talking about? Just stop with your awful commentary. Shut up for a bit and just be nice, maybe? Like,
yeah, and like it's not
she's
like...
already hard enough on herself as it is. Like, she doesn't need to, hear the ISU approved commentator just shit on her unnecessarily when she doesn't deserve any of it, regardless of how she skated. Just
Exactly. And like we don't need to constantly associate the Gracie now with the Gracie of times past, right? Like what good does that comparison do her in that moment? And what good does that comparison do for the audience and the people watching? It really does nothing. So we need to be quiet about that.
Yeah, she's in a different phase of her life. She's in a different period. Those periods aren't the same. Gracie before, not the same as Gracie now. Like, it's clear night is day, like, especially her mental state. Just, so stop it. Just, ugh. Not a fan of the commentator. Shut up. Okay. Let's move on.
Okay, so next we're going to talk about Paige Rydberg. She's 20 years old. She's coached by Tom Z. But the main reason I wanted to bring her up is because her short program that she was super hype about. I was reading an interview with her on Twitter. She was so hype, okay? It's to Man, I Feel Like a Woman by Shania Twain, and also That Don't Impress Me Much. As a Canadian, huge fan.
Just as a general human being, huge fan. Like, ugh, yes. Big fan of this.
Love it.
I would, if I skated to this, I'd 100% be lip syncing all along the way.
Yeah, we would both be a Tiffany Zagorski.
Yes. In the short program, she had an excellent triple flip, excellent risano, so triple toe. Also, she has an insane camel position. Like, it's so, like, arched and extended. Like, ladies and gents, take note. This is, like, the level you need to reach. Like, don't actually have a camel hump because your back and your leg are lower than your ass. That's not aesthetic. That's not what we're going for. Look, I think she got 63.91 in the short program, and that was 6 points less than Audrey Shin. I felt like that was a bit of a dig. Not gonna lie. I mean, the step sequence felt a bit lackluster compared to the start of the program. Like, so I kind of get a ding in the, program components, but yeah. Anyway, her free skate was to Titanic. Joce.
Yes, it was to My Heart Will Go On from the Titanic soundtrack. Funnily enough, this is a fun trivia fact about myself. I am a huge fan of The Masked Singer. And on The Masked Singer.
She really, really is.
I truly am such a big fan. People make fun of me for it all the time. But in the past couple weeks, there was also a performer on The Masked Singer who did a cover of My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion. So in the past couple weeks, that is 2 times more than I've heard My Heart Will Go On than in the past, like, 3 years of my life. So...
And 2 times more than you needed.
2 times more than I needed. But apart from that, the actual stuff here, not Masked Singer stuff, I really did like the costume with the music. I thought that it was very nice and asymmetrical. I do love an asymmetrical dress. I thought it went very well with the Titanic music. But overall, there were definitely a few mistakes. It's a good program. I like the combination and the contrast of the Shania Twain with the Titanic. I think they are both very significant Canadian ladies, but in very different ways.
Yeah, we love a good Celine Dion program, don't we? I think it was a solid program. It's good. I wouldn't say it's great. She's solid. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Another Tom Z skater that was at Skate America, a little lesser known, her name is Pooja Kalyan. She's 17. And speaking of Celine Dion, she skated to It's All Coming Back to Me Now for a short program.
We have seen a lot of It's All Coming Back to Me Now. We have Gabby Daleman. We have Luna Hendricks, which I loved Luna Hendricks.
We'll talk about her in the next episode when we recap the Budapest Trophy. But for now, yes. It is Pooja skating to Celine Dion. She has big jumps. That was a huge triple Lutz. Like, the triple toe on the end of it was like a little bit tight. But yeah, she gets good lift.
Yeah, I think that overall the short program was pretty great. I did love the costume. I think that Celine Dion and a bright fuchsia dress are always friends.
They're best buddies.
They're besties. And in her free skate, she skated to Porgy and Bess selections. Again, I really enjoyed her jumps. I think they got good distance and good height.
Yeah, look, I will always be a sucker for Porgy and Bess. Like, hi, Elena Radionova. I still love your short program. Thank you, Shailene Bourne, for creating that. But yeah, I think that she gets good height in her jumps, but they're a little bit, like, scrappy. I feel like she needs to be tighter in the air. Just, yeah. they've got height, they've got distance, but things just need to be cleaned up a little bit. But she's 17. She's 17. She's got some time. And it was really great to see her skate at Skate America. Definitely will be watching out for her when Nationals comes around.
So up next, we have Shan Lin from China. She actually just moved back to skating for China. She was training and skating for the US, and she was previously using her Western name.
What is her Western name?
I think it's Ashley?
Huh. Cool. We need a new Ashley in ladies skating now. Hey, Ashley Wagner, we love you. Okay, so Shan Lin's short program was to On My Own from Les Mis. And first thing I noted was that she's very expressive. She's got really good jumps. She didn't have a great day with them in her short program, but there's a really good technical base there.
Yeah, and the Ina Bauer. Love that.
Oh, we extended and held. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Love it.
Yeah, she's got really great posture. She's got really great spins. Like, technical base is all there. Sound, obviously, there. I think she needs to inject a bit more X factor overall, but I like her. For her free skate, though, because we haven't had enough Romeo and Juliet this season, she decided to skate to Romeo and Juliet, especially the Kissing You part of the Romeo and Juliet soundtrack by Baz Luhrmann. More Romeo and Juliet. But she's very all-rounded. Like, nothing stands out too much, but she would be a great all-round gymnast.
Yes, I agree. I think that, like with several all-around gymnasts, she just needs kind of like that X factor. She needs like that little something something, and I think that she would be great. I think she's still super young. She's 17. I think now with this move to China, I think that she was talking about, I briefly remember in an interview that she was saying that the funding was different in China and hopefully her future would look different in terms of how much support she's receiving. So I hope that she gets what she needs in this move.
Yeah, especially with the Beijing 2022 Olympics coming up very, very soon. And China is really looking to field a really strong team for the team event. She might be in with a really, really good chance given how she skated in Skate America. So yeah, good on you, Shan Lin.
Yeah, I'm super excited for her.
Yeah, me too. All right, let's talk about another youngster, 16 years old. Probably the biggest surprise of the ladies' event, Audrey Shin. She's coached by Tammy Gamble. And this is a part of her bio that I thought would really resonate with you. She has a pet hamster and it's called Butternut.
Oh, precious. Sweet Butternut. Was Butternut in the audience? Maybe Butternut was the same size as the Geico Gecko. Or maybe the same size as Chris Knierim.
That's a huge ass hamster, mate. That is a big ass hamster. I don't know if that's going to be cute or scary. Okay, anyway, Audrey. Her short program was to The Giving by Michael W. Smith. And holy cow, she was so good. The costume was gorgeous. She performed the living lights out of it. She was so expressive. You know, she had an excellent triple Lutz, triple toe, even though the triple Lutz got a little Q on it. It was really good. Excellent outing. I love her. She also, like, with that dress, reminded me a lot of Caroline Zhang with better technique. But given, like, she's 16, she's got, really great performative qualities. I was just like, ooh, is this a new Caroline Zhang that we've got here?
Yeah, I love it. I think she was definitely the surprise, the pleasant surprise of the night. Everyone was talking about her. I was hearing US Figure Skating Fan Zone talking about her. Everyone on Twitter was like, yo, like this is the real deal here. So I was super excited to see her.
Yeah, and her free skate was to Modigliani soundtrack by Guy Farley, and a big fan of the costume, first and foremost. But I felt like here, kind of like with Sasha Trusova, we sort of saw the performance quality come down a little bit because obviously there are more elements to do in the free program, but you could see her concentrating more. She's a great skater though, decent program. I felt like the music could be stronger and have a few more of those like moments for her to like really show off what she can do in the program components side of things. like especially when all the jumping passes are done. But yeah, what do you think?
I think that Audrey is another skater that needs a little bit more of that something something. I think that, people have their eye on her now, like this was kind of her moment. And I think that, like you were saying, with the choreography, with the kind of less concentrating on the jumps and more concentrating on, number one, kind of like her overall packaging, and also really selling the music, especially in the second half leading up to the ending, needs a little bit more of that. But she was just so happy. Like, what a sweet, precious thing.
Her and the kiss and cry was so precious. Ugh.
Oh my goodness.
She was definitely a breath of fresh air.
Yes. Thank goodness.
Yeah, thank goodness. I will note something interesting about her jump technique. So in her jumps, her free leg gets quite high. Like it almost looks like, especially in her flip and Lutz, it almost looks like she's trying to correct a rap, which is interesting. Like, or maybe it's just that she is such a great jumper that she has so much space and she's leaving that room for the quads. Who knows? But that was just a little interesting note that I feel her coach might be working on. But yeah, I'll definitely be keeping an eye on that because I'd love to see how that, develops as she grows older. But yeah, that's just a little side note that I noticed.
Yeah, but congratulations to Audrey. Very, very well-deserved bronze medal at Skate America.
Okay, now she didn't get the bronze, she got the pewter, but Karen Chen had an amazing outing at Skate America.
Oh my gosh, so happy to see her skating like this, looking happy with herself. I think that both programs, like we talked about in the ISB Points Challenge episode, very quintessential Karen Chen. The short program was to Rise by Katy Perry, which is like a pop ballad. And then her free skate was to Butterfly Lovers, which is an instrumental piece. This is the piece that Chen Lu skated to at the Nagano Olympics in 1998.
Love.
So good. So
Iconic.
Good. Iconic. Classic. Love it. Yes, but both these programs, extremely quintessentially Karen Chen. She had the highest PCS of the night, and it was very well deserved. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. I feel like Karen Chen is chronically lowballed in PCS, and I hate to see it every time, but highest PCS, very well deserved here.
Yeah, I think her getting lowballed in the PCS is kind of mainly due to her skates where she didn't have a great day technically, which obviously affects her performance component as well as just the overall perception of the program. But she skated very, very well here. Very, very happy for her. Now, in our IPS episode, we kind of were a bit skeptical on her music choices, but I think that it looked so much better here. Both programs looked so much better compared to what we saw from her at ISP Points Challenge. And I'm converted. I'm a fan of both programs. I really am. Especially because I wasn't too much of a fan of her free skate, but now I am.
Yeah, now seeing Butterfly Lovers with like that purple dress, remembering
with a costume on like competitive ice without shitty videography, like
yeah, without being filmed on a root vegetable. I love it. I think that, oh gosh, this is one of the people that unfortunately fell victim to the curse of the popped loop. Everyone popped their loop this competition.
Go pop a loop, guys.
I know, and I saw it coming from everyone. When they were going into the entry, I was like, honey, you have no speed. This is not going to happen. I hate to see it. But everyone popped their loop. Literally everyone.
Yeah, but she had a great opening. Stella is always double axel, triple toe. She had her gorgeous triple Lutz and triple flip. Yeah, I think this was a much stronger showing overall. I think it's a good program for her. She sells it quite well. I really enjoy this skate.
Yeah. Definitely. I honestly am just so happy to see Karen Chen back. It's been a long time since we've seen her this confident and this kind of sure-footed in a program. I think that the choreography in the second half of the free skate is slightly lackluster, but I think that is also a common theme because it's so difficult to learn choreography over Zoom or Google Meet. Like that's really not the...
But she normally does choreography herself though, right?
I don't know for this one if she did the choreography herself, but yes, she does typically do a lot of her own choreography, but I think that, yeah, if there was a little kind of more elevated choreography in the second half, I think that it would really kind of bring this program to a new level, like this music was at the Nagano Olympics.
I agree with you completely. Yeah. Look, as long as she like looks happy in her spiral choreo sequence, I'm happy. A happy Karen is when she is beaming from ear to ear while she's doing a spiral. So,
That is classic.
Classic Karen Chen, bring back spiral sequences. That's very biased for you because I enjoy them a lot. Okay. Moving on.
Yeah, why don't we talk a little bit about Star Andrews?
Yeah. Okay, first thing I have to note. Star, no matter what, like how she skated, she would just be dancing the whole time. Like at the start of her short program, like just before she got on the ice for warm-up, she gave like the camera a like really cheeky dance and wave. And I was just like, oh, you're the best. You're so cute.
I love her. I truly love her. Also from her USFS bio, she has a cat named Coda and a labradoodle named Mochi. Love to see it. I love a good labradoodle moment.
I love a good labradoodle too. I wonder what cat she has. Interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway. Her short program to It's a Man's World and Jokes on You from Birds of Prey. What did you think?
Another friend who has fallen victim to the popped loop. I don't think that this was her best short program. She didn't look super pleased with herself. I think that in the warm-up, she wasn't looking great either. There were some jumping.
She was popping. Yeah, she was popping a lot of her jumps and just, I think it was just an off day.
Yeah, I think it was definitely an off day. However, I do love the creativity in the costume. It is very geometric, yet kind of like innovative at the same time.
Very on brand for you.
Yeah, this is definitely my brand. I love a geometric costume. But yeah, there's kind of like a tiny little triangle cut out in the front of the dress. There is kind of like this like bra type of piece that is kind of like a deep maroon. And then the sleeve part of it is black. I love it. I think it is very...
I love it too.
Yeah, it's unique, but I think it's very fitting for this program. And I think it looks great on her. I love the costume.
Yeah, she's been hitting it with the costumes because her free program costume, it was a beautiful lavender. It's to Finally by Fergie. And yeah, I thought the costume looked so good on her.
Also, I really think that we need to have more programs to Fergie. I think we need to spell glamorous, GLAMOROUS.
There should be an exhibition program to London Bridge. Fergie should also be part of the standard repertoire. Just like Pink Floyd, those ballet exams, we have to have Fergie. Every single song from her discography has to be covered.
I mean, how else are we going to learn how to spell glamorous? Fergie taught me how to spell glamorous. She took me to school. Thanks, Fergie. But going back to Star Andrews, I really love, this is a very different dress. It's lavender. I really love how delicate this dress looks. The short program dress was very much a kapow dress, and the Fergie dress, it was so nice. It's such a beautiful dress.
Yeah. But you can tell how much she's focusing for the rest of the program. I felt like she was thinking to herself that she had a lot of ground to make up from her short program and was just like, all right, I'm just going to be laser focused during this free skate. But she knows how to perform, and that kind of mindset really would impact the performative aspect of her program, and I think that's kind of where she was at.
Yeah, for sure. I think you could definitely kind of see the wheels turning. I think that this program will be super fire once, that she's just able to perform it. There's more muscle memory, and she's just always so happy in the kiss and cry. Like she makes me happy. I love Star.
She makes me happy too. She didn't have the best skate, but she was booking it on, and I was just like, you know what? Good on you. You keep the vibes going.
All right, why don't we now talk about Amber Glenn?
Amber. Where was the triple axel? We saw it in practice.
Oh, Amber.
Come on. Your double axel looks way too easy for you. Just way too easy.
Yeah, that double axel is huge.
Oh, but also, first, I don't have a USFS bio for you or an ISU bio for you, but I do have, before a short program, the warm-up intro, she was doing, She was dancing just like Star, but it was very, very like Animal Crossing Peppy Villager vibes.
And Peppy is my favorite personality type.
And that's why I was just like, this is very Peppy. I wonder if Joce is watching this because it's very much Joce's brand. But her short program, the ISU commentator said that she choreographed this program herself. And if that's true, then props to you. But, that triple flip, triple toe. Mate, she got a Q on that triple toe. And I was just like, you can eke that out. Like, I was like, come on, Amber. But the funniest bit, though, was when she was talking in the Kiss and Cry with a full mask on. She, like you said, she was going at like 200 miles an hour. And like we could hear nothing.
And I was like, Amber, you have so much to say. I want to hear what you have to say, but I can't.
Bless her soul. But she did get an average of like +3 GOE on every single element in her short program, bar the first jump combo. So good on you, Amber.
Definitely. Another victim of the curse of the popped loops. This ice is just not friends with the loop here. I believe that the reason why she didn't try the triple axel, correct me if I'm wrong, but she did get an injury. And she had injured her orbital bone. So I'm not sure if that affected, her decision of whether she wanted to insert the triple axel at this point in time.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like this would have been a really good competition for her to try it out because this obviously isn't your typical Grand Prix. We don't even know whether the Grand Prix final is going to happen, and it's not a typical season where skaters normally get sent to 2 GPs and then get their points tallied up. So I felt like this would have been a really good event for her to try it out. I mean, she was doing them in practice. We saw triple axels, triple axel double toes, but you know what? Doesn't really matter. There were some unfortunate misses on jumps, but I still maintain that her free skate is very, very, very good. Now she just needs to go away, work the shit out of it, so when it comes to nationals, she comes out of the gate flying, preferably with a triple axel. But yeah, I was really vibing the huge board slap before she went out for her free skate though. Love you, Amber.
Amber Glenn really needs that energy. She's just someone that really picks up on the vibe in the room. I think that just with her choices with the very upsetting, morose pop ballads between Gravity and also Scars by Madeline, there's very little room to become more morose than Scars by Madeline Bailey. But she just needs that energy, right? And I think that this combination of the Scars short program and this free skate that was choreographed by Misha G, this is my favorite combination of programs that she's ever done. I think that they both have her in her fields, which is when she performs the best. And I want her to just, like you were saying, fly out of the gate with that triple axel at nationals in the free skate. We're looking forward to it.
Oh, I am definitely looking forward to that day. Okay, let's move on to our silver medalist, Brady Tennell. Okay, so first things first. In her short program warm-up, Ariana Grande's Thank You Next was playing, and when the camera was panning to Brady doing the intro sort of thing, and Brady was doing choreo, and strangely enough, it fit the music quite well, and I was like, I would pay that. I feel like she loves to read. We know her favorite books, and I feel like Ariana Grande Thank You Next would be a great program choice for her.
Also, Ariana Grande's new album coming out very soon. You should go buy a
copy. Definitely. She's come to save 2020.
Yes, Ariana Grande. And Folklore. Love Folklore.
Yeah.
Anyways. But let's talk about her short program. It is to Florence and the Machine. I love Florence. I love a program skated to Florence. Brady has also added a full jumpsuit.
This unitard. Okay. It is very Florence and the Machine. I'm happy it's a unitard. However, there's some a sliver of mesh on the back of her costume, and it's not matched to her skin tone. And it pissed me off.
Oh no, Brady, please.
I was like, it was going so well. We were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. Okay, but the combination jump, triple toe, it looked tight. She did get an under rotation call on the triple toe, but the flip looked solid as ever. It's interesting though. So she moved to Tom Z, and I don't see an improvement in her jumps.
I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Tom Z, but I think that we'll see with time. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. Her spins look hella fab. Love her spins. They've always been great. Happy to see them. But yeah, okay. So in the free skate, she did better. She placed first in the free skate, but second overall. All right, I have to say that I did make comments when we talked about her ISP points challenge outing that this program just didn't feel right. The music felt really lackluster. It felt very one note. But I put it all down to filming on a frickin' zucchini, eggplant, carrot, whatever you want to call it. Because the videography from the ISP points challenge really did this program dirty. It looks fabulous here. You can actually hear the music, and I'm like, okay, this is why she chose it, because the music actually has character and depth. Like, we can hear it this time. I really, really liked it. I really, really did. I feel like Brady is getting sharper and sharper in her choreography and musical intuition, and it's really showing here. Technically, she looks in a better place than a lot of other skaters at this moment in time. Compared to her past, like compared to her own skating, well, it's probably a different story. But I think maybe her looking better in comparison to the other skaters is maybe due to her normally like tight and compact jump technique. So like, for example, we'll talk about Mariah later, but Mariah's jumps are a lot bigger and a lot looser in the air, and I feel like that there's more room for error, literal room for error. But I mean, she did a triple Lutz triple toe, under-rotated on the triple toe again. Her second triple Lutz triple toe combo, both the Lutz and the toe got Qs. So yeah, Tom Z, what are you doing? Like, come on. But her spins look really, really fast and haven't lost their quality, so that's really great. Good on her.
Yeah, she also got a cue call for her triple flip in the free. However, I really enjoy her transitions in and out of her flip. I think they are one of my favorite transitions. I think they look great. I really enjoy her.
Danny G could never.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm interested to see how her technique changes, if at all, after this move to Tom Z. I think that it was a very interesting change. I'm not sure that I would have chosen Tom Z for her, or I guess for myself if I was a skater, but I am just very curious as to what will happen.
Yeah, good job, Brady. Really, really enjoyed the programs because they weren't filmed on a root vegetable. But okay, let's talk about the gold medalist of the event, Miss Mariah Bell.
Oh, Mariah. I love Mariah.
Oh, Mariah.
Okay, so her short program, To Glitter in the Air by Pink, choreographed by Adam Rippon. So one thing that I definitely have to note was a lot of people on social media were wondering why she wore the same dress. Apparently, she had felt uncomfortable in her short program dress, so she decided to wear this free skate dress for both days. However, even though it is a beautiful dress, I don't think that it really fits either of the programs. I feel like wearing that dress, you need to be skating to Stravinsky's Firebird. Like, there are no other options.
Oh, I was about to say the exact same thing.
There are no other options.
Or like Elisa Chicago program.
There are very few options for this dress that it really does scream, I'm doing a Firebird program. But I don't think it's necessarily very ABBA. I don't think it's necessarily very glitter in the air. But I do know that she wore it because she was uncomfortable in her short program dress. So just to clarify that. I think the short program was great. I have a lot to say about the free skate. But what did you think about the short program?
Yeah, the short program was fine. Gorgeous spins. That combo spin, like, personally, I would have given it +5 all the way. The jumps, though, like, okay. It looked like she wasn't able to get her free leg out quick enough. The combo that she did was tight, but she gritted it out. And just overall, there was only one negative GOE that was given by Judge 5. We're looking at you for the jump combo, so fair enough. But the rest was positive and generally greater than a +2, so decent. But yes, I think she placed first in the short program, but her free skate, a different matter. She was 4th overall, but the difference between 2nd and 4th for the free skate, they were all in 0.52 points of each other. So it was very, very tight. Nonetheless, what did you think about it? Because, yeah, you've got a lot to say.
I have so many opinions about this free skate. Okay, first of all, I said this in the ISP Points Challenge episode, but why are we starting a program halfway through the chorus of Dancing Queen? And then why are we moving into the bridge of Winner Takes It All? I just severely lack comprehension of why this music cut was made this way. This is, okay, so if we're going to do ABBA, I'm just going to tell you what I would do if I were to do an ABBA program, okay? Because in our first episode, I literally said I would do a Mamma Mia program. So this is what the program that I would do would be, okay? We would start off with Mamma Mia, and we would start off with the do, because that is like, how could you not use that intro, right? Like, how could you do an ABBA program and start halfway through the chorus of Dancing Queen, but not use the intro of Mamma Mia? It's very strange.
Yeah.
And then I would move into Gimme, 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 because that build up for the middle section, like where all the big jumps are, and the build up for the final choreo and the final step sequence, why would you not use Gimme, Gimme, Gimme for that? Okay, it's just the right intensity.
Personally, I prefer Voulez-Vous. That's just me personally, but I feel like they give off the same vibe. I'd be happy with both.
That's the same energy.
Yeah.
And then you can end with Dancing Queen. And you need to do the whole chorus of Dancing Queen, not just halfway through the chorus. Why are we halfway through the chorus? I just have zero comprehension of why this music.
Why are we ending on thank you for the music?
No one asked for thank you for the music. Not one person in that audience. Not Chris Kinnearum with 2 thumbs up. This is Chris Kinnearum with 2 thumbs down for thank you for the music. We did not ask.
The Geico lizard had a thumbs down.
Yes. Geico Gecko did not have his arms supinated, in his general Geico Gecko pose. I just don't understand this program, the music cuts. I just don't get it. And I also okay, so this is the choreography it has a lot of 2-footed skating. Okay, there's not a ton going on. There's a lot of,
maybe Alexei Bichenko came and fixed up Mariah's skates just like Danny G switched up the music. Maybe Alexei Bichenko with his wonderful two feet pump during Pirates of the Caribbean really influenced Mariah this competition.
Yeah, I wonder what was going on, because the upper body was very flamboyant. There was a lot going on in the upper body, but a lot of 2-footed skating. And I just wonder, I don't know if this is quite not complete yet, right? Because this is the first event of the season, right? The first true event of the season, right? Maybe it's just not done yet. Maybe she hasn't met up with Shaylin to complete the choreo, right? There are many options as to why the choreo looks this way.
Very true.
There are not many options for why the music cut looks this way.
Look, I did notice that there was slight changes in the music cut. In the ISP Points Challenge, I noticed that there was a Lutz bang in the middle of the transition into Thank You for the Music. And here it was slightly different, but okay, I love you, Mariah. I'm going to preface this by saying I love you, Mariah. But my notes said, falling on her triple Lutz like that, that's what you get for having music cut in the middle of the jump. I'm sorry, Mariah, but okay, the triple Lutz was downgraded, which definitely hurt her scores. But yeah, look, this is a rough one because Mariah's a great skater, right? The music cuts are really shit. How are we supposed to gel everything together? It's not gelled together. And I honestly, I laughed every time the music changed. I was just oh. It was one of those I can't believe I'm having to sit through this. But in general, her skating, disregarding the music, her jumps don't look like her 100%. And that's not just saying that, the conditioning's not there and stuff. She looks, pretty conditioned. Thanks, Raf, because all of your skaters seem to not have had a break. But she seems to be breaking at her hips a lot more than when she lands, a lot more than she normally does. which is like maybe that's a lack of core strength at this point in the season, but she was really far forward on her skates. That's something that I noticed.
Yeah, I think this free skate needs a lot of rethinking. Honestly, why did we not do Mamma Mia into Gimme 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 into Dancing Queen? Why was that not done? Why are we stuck with this music?
Even my mother was just like, why is Mamma Mia third? Like, we should be starting off with Mamma Mia. And I'm like, oh, look at that. Like, the general public knows.
The general public
My mum knows skating. My mum knows skating, though. My mum's a good by the boards watcher. She knows her shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, Mariah did enough to grab the gold. So yay, Mariah Bell, first Grand Prix Series win, first Skate America win. So that's one for the books.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter what this season turns out to be, it's on the record.
Yeah, that is very exciting. Congratulations, Mariah.
Please redo the free program.
Please redo the free. Congratulations, and please redo the free program.
A backhanded compliment. Okay, so ending with that, I think we are done for ladies and pairs. Oof, okay.
That was a lot.
That was a lot. How about let's do our kiss and cry section. It's substantially shorter than our previous episode, but we've still got a few things.
Definitely.
Okay. All right, kiss and cry time. So the book that we have chosen for this episode is inspired by our lovely Mariah Bell and her free program. Well, because there's nothing else to draw inspiration from, because it's just chaotic. We love ABBA, we love Mariah, but it's chaotic. So, I mean, it stood out.
Yeah, so the specific song that this was inspired by was Thank You for the Music. And the book that we chose is called Noteworthy by Riley Redgate. This book is about Jordan's son, who is in her junior year at the Kensington Blaine School for the Performing Arts, hoping that she will be finally cast in her school's musical. But unfortunately, no bueno, she is not cast, and she starts to freak out because she needs something to look good on her college applications. However, there has been a spot that has just opened up in the Sharpshooters, which is Kensington's renowned a cappella group, which is unfortunately made up of all boys. Jordan pretends to be a boy and suddenly becomes a tenor one in the Sharpshooters. And throughout the course of the book, it adds levity and hilarity to underlying themes of race and privilege, especially in academia and education systems, things like gender conformity, and gender expression. I laughed so much when I was reading this book. It's so much fun. It's entertaining. It is very appropriate and a balm for this hellhole year. It's seriously just so fun. I highly recommend it. It is called Noteworthy by Riley Redgate.
That sounds dope. And honestly, anything that makes Jocelyn laugh, like, it is stamp approved to be hella funny, because Jocelyn doesn't like comedy.
I don't like comedy.
She doesn't like comedy. Like, what kind of... Okay.
The only comedy that I enjoy is Ali Wong. That's it. Full stop. I don't like comedy movies. I did not think Napoleon Dynamite was funny. Sorry, Napoleon Dynamite lovers.
She doesn't like anything that has real people in it. She prefers animation movies only.
Yeah.
This girl is weird. I love her, but she's weird. Okay. So for the rest of our kiss and cry, we don't really have that much. However, we do have some birthday shout-outs. Happy 21st birthday to Amber Glenn, who turns 21 on October 28th.
The big 21. Happy birthday, Amber.
Maybe stay in Vegas for a bit. Stay safe and stay healthy, but, you know, Vegas is there. I reckon she would. I so would. We also have another birthday, this time to another US skater, but a legend, Miss Sasha Cohen. Her birthday is today, the day that we're recording, October 26th. So yay, Sasha. It was really great to see her updates on Instagram and her engagement. Yeah, I'm just really happy that she seems to be so happy after having an awesome skating career. So happy birthday, Sasha.
Happy birthday and congratulations to Sasha. Kind of to round off this episode, everyone seems to have collectively made their Skate America posts on Instagram. Everyone kind of expressed somewhat generically a big thank you to Vegas, the Orleans Hotel, and the organizers for keeping them safe. And also just a big thank you to actually like have this competition this year, regardless of the cardboard cutouts, the weird Geico gecko, Chris Kinnear with 2 thumbs up. I think everyone just kind of was very thankful for this slight break in this true hellhole year. I think Skate America was a respite to that, you know, regardless of whether the city and the states are actually being safe about it. I think that the organizers did everything that they could to ensure that everyone was being hygienic and safe and healthy.
We're definitely glad that this happened, and we saw some wonderful skating over the weekend. But that wraps up our Skate America recap for men's and ice dance, which we did last episode, and this episode was pairs and ladies. I'm Claudia, and come chat with us at Lutz Get Down Pod, LUTZ, on Twitter and Instagram. And if you want to work with us, shoot us an email at lutzgetdownpod@gmail.com.
If you like this podcast and you also think Panina Tournay should design figure skating costumes, please visit wherever you listen to podcasts and give us some 5-star love. We would really appreciate it. Thank you so much for listening. We will talk to you guys soon.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.